Hi everybody, this is Ingi from Crochet Art Design. I'm going to show you how to make this Barbie dress, and I'm also going to show you how to make the cool hair as well. There's a link to the pattern in the description bar if you want to just follow the written description. But basically this is a tulip stitch. Now I had to decrease and increase, so that changed the pattern a little bit, but it's basically a tulip stitch. And there's a link also how to do that. But you start off with chaining 16 for this dress. You turn and you do a single crochet in the second chain from hook and in every chain to end. What I did was, in this one, I changed the yarn to green, but in the pattern you do another row of white. I made a mistake here. So you just make another row of single crochet and single crochet, and then you change to green and you chain 4. And you do a double crochet in the same stitch as chain 4. You skip 2 stitches and you do a double crochet in the next stitch. You chain 2, and then after you chain 2 you do a double crochet in the same stitch. So even though I made a mistake in not doing a second row of single crochets, the pattern still is alright because you still have the same amount of single crochets to crochet. And then you just follow the same pattern. You skip 2 single crochets, you do double crochet in the third one, and you chain 2 and you do a double crochet in the same stitch. So you're sort of creating a V-stitch. And then in the last stitch you do exactly the same thing. You chain 2 and double crochet in the last stitch, but now you're also changing color as well. So now you're changing color to yellow, and we're going to make the petals. You're going to do the tulip petal now. So chain 2 to start with, and then you're going to do a 5 double crochet cluster stitch in the 2 chain space. And a cluster stitch is basically what I'm doing now. You yarn over, but you're only pulling through the 2 first loops on hook. So you're making a double crochet, but you're only doing the 2 first loop on the hook until you have 6 loops on hook. So you get an ever increasing number of loops. That's what a cluster stitch means. That you just get a cluster of loops on hook, and then when you get the desired amount, like I need 6 of them, then you yarn over and you pull through all the loops. And if you can't pull through all the loops at the same time, you just do a few at a time, and then chain 2. And now I want you to skip the next 2 chain space, and you're going to go in the next one afterwards. So you skip the next 2 chain space and you go into the next 2 chain space, and that is to decrease. So you're basically making the waist of the dress for the Barbie doll. Then you do make this, you do your 5 DC cluster stitch, which is basically just yarn over, insert, yarn over, and pull through only the 2 first loops on hook. You get an ever increasing number of loops on hook. Once you have 6, you yarn over and you pull through all the loops. Then chain 2, and you do the same thing in the next 2 chain space. You don't actually skip. And then you chain 2, and then you skip the next 2 chain space and you do 5 DC cluster stitch in the last 2 chain space. Then you actually decrease and you made the waist of the doll. And now you're going to change the yarn to white. So you do that in the last stitch. I'm going to make single crochet. You chain 1, and you make a single crochet in the same stitch as your chain 1. And once you have completed that, you're going to make 2 single crochet in the 2 chain space. And you're going to repeat this process all the way across. So 1 single crochet in the 5 DC cluster stitch and 2 single crochet in the 2 chain space. So you basically repeated the row 1 where we just had single crochets to work on, and now we're going to do another round of single crochet. So if you want to do a round 2 of this one with a second round of single crochet, you can. You just turn the piece and you do a single crochet in single crochet. All the way to the end, and then you change yarn to green, change 4, and then you do a double crochet in the same stitch as chain 4. And then you chain 2 again, and you do a double crochet in the same stitch. So now we are increasing the numbers because we are going to make the skirt. So we made the waist and now we want to increase. And now you skip 2 stitches, and in the 3rd stitch you basically do 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet in the same stitch, and chain 2, and the 3rd double crochet in the same stitch. So instead of having 2 double crochets, you have 3, and you do it all the way to the end. You have now increased, and we're going to make the petals. Instead of using yellow, we're going to use blue. So use the same sort of technique. You chain 2 and you do a 5 double crochet cluster stitch. In the 2 chain space, and then you change 2 again. But now you're going to do this in every 2 chain space. You're not skipping any 2 chain spaces. And then you change color to white, and you do a single crochet in the chain. So you basically chain 1 and do a single crochet. You do a single crochet in 2 chain space, and you do this all the way across. So now you have decreased, and this is, for after the waist you need a bit more volume for the hips and the legs. So that's a skirt. You turn and you do a single crochet and single crochet, and you change yarn to green. Now you're going to do a traditional tulip stitch pattern. You're chaining 4, and you are doing a double crochet in the same stitch, and skip 2 stitches, and in the 3rd stitch you do a double crochet, and you chain 2 and you do a double crochet in the same stitch, you skip 2 and you do a double crochet, and then chain 2 double crochet. So now you just do 2 rather than 3 because you're not increasing. And now we're going to do the border at the top. So go back to row 1, attach blue, and just in the 1 loop, only the back loop, you do a slip stitch, and you're slip stitching all the way across. That's just to make a nice border at the top, and then you fasten it off. After you completed the row. So now you have completed the second one. I've made 2 now, so I'm ready to stitch the sides around the Barbie doll. And if it's hard to, if it's hard to get the yarn through, use pliers. And as you can see, my front one has 2 rounds of single crochet, but my back one only has 1 because I made a mistake. So you can kind of see that there. You can see the mistake that I made. And then you just attach straps. I do 2 each side to give it strength, and use a sewing needle. Do the other side, and wanna have to fix up her hair a little bit. And then you just pull through and you can fasten it all up, and she's all ready to go, basically. Her hair is sort of half done. I'll show you how I did the hair. Her hair, I've sort of half crimped it, but she's not completely done. So I just have to continue doing pretty much piece by piece, and I use a hairbrush as well to try and speed it up. I wanted basically to get all the 3 threads that were threaded together to come undone, because that gave her kind of really cool curly hair. So I use a really small sewing needle for that, and I mean small crochet hook for that. I think that's just a 1 millimeter, I think. So it's kind of like time consuming, but I'll show you also how I attach the yarn to her, which is really easy. I'm just trying to speed it up to give her that frizzy look, but I'll show you how I attach the yarn. So basically you have to detach the head, take all the hair off. Basically you pull it up using pliers from the inside, or you can also use tweezers from the inside of her head. You just pull it out. It can help cutting the hair really short first, and then you pull it out. It takes a while. Once all the hair is gone, you can start attaching your own hair basically to the doll, which is really easy to do. All you have to do is you need a sewing needle, and you stick in the needle from the top down like that. You just go in circle following kind of where there already are holes. Pull it through and make a little knot on it. There's a tiny knot there because I'm going to pull it back out, and I don't want the hair to basically come out. So you can see the knot there, and I just pull it back into her head again. And you have to do that until you've covered basically everything. And now I'm going to give her a little haircut. This is all done by the water in Shorncliffe, beautiful Queensland, Australia, Brisbane. One of the beautiful suburbs of Brisbane. So here I am cutting her hair, pretending to be a hairdresser. I've never done this before. This is the very first Barbie upcycle or remake that I've ever done. So I don't really know what I'm doing, but this is like my first attempt. And I think I'm going to get a hang of it. I kind of really enjoyed it. Like, enjoyed it a little bit too much. I think I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I'm not game enough to do the makeup, like to take her face off and do makeup, but I am going to try and do that. But I think that might be my next doll project, because I bought a vampire Barbie, and she looked terrible. So I thought I better do that makeup on her because she looks so awful anyway. But and then when I get a hang of it, I can practice on the other Barbies. So she's getting a haircut, and she's looking fantastic. Sort of. She's sort of looking fantastic. I pretended I really knew what I was doing then. So it's a lot of yarn, and I had to kind of make it frizzy. And as you see here, I just started there, getting her hair frizzy, and here's the end result. It's really frizzy. And I'm thinking of even straightening her hair or something like that, you know, making her look really cool. Trying different things, different haircuts, just experimenting and see what the end result will be. I think the next thing I'm going to have to make her now is some boots. So that's probably a pattern that's going to come up very soon. So until then, thank you guys. See ya. Bye.